Hi students, today's lesson is going to be on vertical and adjacent angles. You can use facts about vertical and adjacent angles to solve problems. Let's get started. So let's do some vocabulary. So non-adjacent angles, vertical angles are non-adjacent angles with the common vertex formed by two intersecting lines. I think, in my opinion, in all of geometry, this is the most confusing official definition. Okay, what does it actually mean? Two angles across from each other and are congruent. Or we could say, or equal. Technically, in geometry, use the word congruent when you're discussing the degree of angles, okay? So they're across from each other who are congruent. So I don't know if you remember this from the Desmos activity yesterday. Vertical angles are the ones that look like an X, okay? And they're the angles that are across. So these two are vertical angles and they're equal to each other. They're congruent to each other. And these two are vertical angles and they're congruent to each other. So they form, so they're saying they're non-adjacent angles with common vertex. I still think it's a crazy definition, but I don't know other official way that they would do it. Linear pair, two adjacent angles whose non-common sides are opposite rays. I think they can do better with this one. What does that mean? Two angles that are supplementary and adjacent. And you've actually seen linear pairs in the last section. We just didn't call it linear pairs. So they're supplementary, they're 180 degrees, and they're next to each other. So what this looks like is like that. Two angles that are right next to each other that form a line. That's really what I would say. Adjacent angles. Next to each other, form a line, and these are a linear pair. It makes sense. A pair of angles that form a line. Pair of angles that form a line. Okay. So here is just the book version of what they are. So vertical angles, adjacent angles, but these are linear pairs. So angles next to each other are adjacent, but these are specific adjacent angles. They are 180 degrees. So supplementary is any two angles that add up to 180 degrees. They don't have to be next to each other. It can look like this. That's supplementary. Linear pair is when you like attach the two together and they form a line, okay? Like that. So let's do some math. Find the measure of each missing angle. So they're telling you this is 54. Well, what is the vertical angle to 54? That's 3. So this is going to be 54 degrees. So we have angle 1, angle 2. But we already have angle 2. We don't need angle 2. Angle 3 and angle 4 are what we're looking for. Okay. So angle 3 is 54 degrees. Well, how do you get the other ones, Ms. Patel? Well, we get them by looking at the fact that we have linear pairs all around here. We know that we could, if you cover this part of it down here, I wish I could cover it for you guys. I mean, I kind of can. Let me cover it for you. If I cover this part of it for you, okay, you're going to see that these are a linear pair. Okay, 1 and 2. Those are a linear pair. Let's see if I can take that away. Oops. Yeah, I don't want it to completely go away. So those are a linear pair. That just means that 54 plus angle 1 is equal to 180. Okay, so you're subtracting 54 from this. And you don't need to, again, create an equation for this. I'm just pointing it out that way, that they add up to 180. And when you subtract, you get 126. So angle 1 is 126. And now we're missing angle 4. So this is 126. And then we know that angle 4 is vertical to 126. That makes them congruent. So that is also 126. Geometry is really good when you have hands-on stuff where you can cover it and write all over it. So if you even redraw this out on your paper, it's easier to do than just looking at it on the computer sometimes. Let's do another one. Find the measure of each angle. So I'm going to pause the video here, and I'm going to let you do it on your own. All right, welcome back. So the three angles that we're looking for, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4. So over here, they're telling you that this angle down here is 140. That means that angle 4 is going to be 140 as well. So one down. And now again, we have linear pairs going on around here. So we can look at 2 and 140, and it's upside down. But if you cover the top half with your hand, you just put your hand over. I mean, you can't see me doing it. But if you put your hand over this, you will see that these two are linear pair. They're just upside down. So what angle 2 plus 140 is equal to 180. Subtract 140. So angle 2 is 40 degrees. So this is 40 degrees. And again, these are vertical to each other. So that makes angle 3 40 as well. The main thing with geometry is understanding the definitions with what it's, the vocabulary means with the pictures. So this time, what kind of angles are these? I want you to tell you. You should be like, they are vertical angles. Okay, and that means they are equal to each other. They are congruent. So you're just going to have 3x plus 7 is equal to 43. Subtract 7. You're going to get 3x is equal to 36. Divide 3. So x is going to equal 12. And you could even check it out. Substitute it back in there. 3 times 12 plus 7. 36 plus 7 is 43, and that's what it should be. Should be congruent to each other. What is the value of x? Pause the video and do this one on your own. All right, welcome back. So 5x plus, minus 39 is equal to 2x. And this time we have variables on both sides. Okay, so I don't know if you remember or forgotten how to do it. Couple of ways you can go about it. Okay, then this one, you can subtract 5x from both sides. But don't erase that negative. That 39 is negative, so it's going to be negative 39 is equal to negative 3x. Now we're dividing negative 3 from both sides. You're going to get x is equal to 13. And if they ask you for the measure of the angles, you just substitute it back in there. 2 times 13. They're not asking you for it, but if they did, you just say they're 26 degrees, okay, for both of them. Oops. So 2 adjacent angles have a sum of 120. One angle is 4 times the size of the other angle. What are the measures of the 2 angles? Okay, this is a little different than what we've done, a little bit more different than what we've done. So angle 1 is, let's just do it this way. Okay, we're going to have angle 1 and angle 2. And one angle is 4 times the size of the other angle. So I'm going to say angle 2 is 4. We don't know what this is. 4 times the size of angle 1, which is x. So they're going to have x and 4x. Okay. Well, now we know that they have a sum of 120. Sum of 120. So these two together add up to 120. So x plus 4x is equal to 120. 5x is equal to 120. Divide by 5. X is 24. So angle 1 is 24 degrees. I'm just going to rewrite it a little better over here. Angle 1 is 24 degrees. Angle 2 is 4x. You're just going to do 4 times 24. 4 times 24 is 96. So this is going to be angle 2 is 96. And if you add those two together, they equal to 180. So that is your final answer. All right, so do this exit card as in your notebook and insert an image in the next slide. Okay. Bye, everyone.